morning. My name is Santino Bellisario. I'm the headmaster at Canadian College, Italy. I'm accompanied today by two of our students, Francesco Turchi and Dania Dussel. It is our great privilege to host this ceremony.
Nous sommes de l'école canadienne de Lanciano et aujourd'hui nous avons l'immense plaisir et le grand privilège d'accueillir cette cérémonie.
Siamo della scuola canadese Lanciano e oggi abbiamo l'immenso piacere e il grande privilegio di ospitare questa cerimonia.
It is an honor to welcome you to this commemorative ceremony at the Moro River Canadian War Cemetery here in Ortona. We are gathered today to pay our respects to the Canadians who took part in the Italian campaign and who are buried here, and to all Canadian servicemen and women who have sacrificed their lives so that we might enjoy freedom today.
Benvenuto a tutte le autorità, agli addetti militari e ai membri dell'ambasciata canadese.
Bienvenue à toutes les autorités, attachés militaires et membres de l'ambassade du Canada.
We would like to welcome Lieutenant General Paul, Deputy Commander of NATO Joint Command, Naples. We'd also like to welcome Mr. Paul Gibard, Canada's representative to the Holy See. And we also welcome Captain Boisjoli, Canadian military attaché in Rome.
Nous accueillons Lieutenant Général Paul, commandant adjoint du commandant conjoint base de l'OTAN en Naples. Nous accueillons également M. Paul Guibard, représentant de la Saint-Siège, et Captain Boisjoli, attaché militaire en Italie.
Al dottor Leo Castiglione, sindaco della città di Ortona, medaglia d'oro al valore civile. Alla dottoressa Domenica Calabrese, viceprefetto vicario prefettura di Chieti. Al dirigente Fabio Santone della questura di Chieti. Al comandante provinciale carabinieri Abruzzo colonnello Alceo Greco. Al comandante carabinieri Legione Abruzzo e Molise generale di brigate Paolo Aceto. Al dottor Filippo Paolini, sindaco di Lanciano, città medaglia d'oro al valore militare. Si ringraziano tutte le forze dell'ordine intervenute oggi al comando dei carabinieri e alla capitaneria di Porto di Ortona, al comitato locale della Croce Rossa Italiana e della Protezione Civile, a tutti i veterani intervenuti a commemorare i caduti della Seconda Guerra Mondiale.
Au nom de notre école, il me fait grand plaisir de vous souhaiter la bienvenue.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthems. I invite Maria Chiara Papale to the microphone.
Mesdames et messieurs, les hymnes nationaux.
Signori e signori, l'inno nazionale.
True l'Italia, l'Italia se desta, dell'elmo disciplo se cinta la testa, bella vittoria le porga la chioma, che schiava di Roma e Dio la creò. Stringiamoci a corte, siam pronti alla morte, siam pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò. Stringiamoci a corte, siam pronti alla morte, siam pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò. Sì!
I now invite Mr. Paul Gibaud, Canada's representative to the Holy See, for a reading on behalf of the Government of Canada.
Innanzitutto desidero ringraziarvi per il vostro gentile invito a questo evento commemorativo. È un onore e un privilegio essere qui ancora una volta a commemorare i caduti e a soffermarci sulle scene dolorose di uno dei più feroci combattimenti della campagna in Italia del Canada. Il 28 dicembre 1943 questa città era ridotta in macerie, ma nel contempo si liberava dalla tirannia e dal fascismo. Purtroppo la vittoria ha avuto un costo enorme per i soldati canadesi e per gli abitanti di Ortona. We are gathered today to respect the gallant heroism of those who found their final resting place here. For the love of their nation, their family, for their companions in arms, and those they served, they placed themselves in harm's way to ensure our freedom. Most were young and experienced in life as they were on the battlefield, but determined to make a difference, to fight for peace and humanity. La paix implique des sacrifices. C'est pourquoi chaque année, nous honorons nos héros tombés au combat et ceux qui rentrent après une mission. Mais nous ne les honorons pas en tant que faiseurs de guerre, mais au contraire comme des artisans de la paix. L'armamento di guerra ha fondamentalmente il compito di preservare la pace. Ciò nonostante, questa verità deve coesistere con un'altra. Per quanto giustificata, la guerra porta con sé inevitabilmente tragedie umane. Il coraggio e il sacrificio del soldato sono l'espressione della devozione alla patria, alla causa, ai compagni d'armi. Tuttavia, la guerra per sua natura non è mai gloriosa e non dobbiamo mai considerarla come tale. In questo contesto non dobbiamo assolutamente dimenticare le nostre infermiere canadesi che hanno accompagnato e sostenuto in situazioni di estremo pericolo i nostri soldati. Il pensiero va anche ai nostri veterani indigeni che si sono sacrificati valorosamente in questa campagna in Italia. Earlier this year we honored their important contributions on Indigenous Veterans Day. Anche se rimane solo il loro nome inciso su una tomba, i 1375 soldati che riposano nel cimitero del fiume Moro meritano tutto il nostro rispetto. As the rumbling noise of the battlefield and the cries of those dying grow more silent with each passing away of our veterans, we the living must now carry the burden of ensuring that our children and our children's children never forget our past, that they understand the high price of peace and security and remain vigilant in protecting it. La place de Héros Canadiens, valorisée par le monument du Prix de la Paix, est un sanctuaire où nous honorons et commémorons les sacrifices de nos héros tombés au combat. Que cela devienne le flambeau qui transperce et impose à nos jeunes générations de porter leurs souvenirs et leurs aspirations pour une véritable paix durable. Ora che ci troviamo in mezzo a loro, riflettiamo quindi sul sacrificio che hanno compiuto i nostri eroi caduti, mentre contempliamo il prezzo per la pace espresso da questo monumento. Erano giovani, come siamo giovani noi, hanno servito donandosi liberamente, A loro promettiamo, tra i venti del tempo, di portare la loro torcia e di non dimenticare mai. Grazie.
Invito ora il sindaco di Ortona, Leo Castiglione, a rivolgere un saluto ai presenti. Grazie signor sindaco.
Saluto a nome della città di Ortona le autorità presenti, a partire dai rappresentanti dell'ambasciata canadese insieme alle altre autorità civili e militari. Questo giorno di commemorazione per i caduti militari dei paesi del Commonwealth è doppiamente legato alla nostra comunità. In primo luogo per le note vicende storiche della battaglia di Ortona del dicembre 1943, e poi perché ricorre a una settimana di distanza del 4 novembre, giornata in cui l'Italia ricorda la fine della Prima Guerra mondiale e i sanguinosi combattimenti nelle trincee del Carso, dell'altopiano di Asiago, sulle frontiere alpine e nelle valli dell'Isonzo e del Piave. E proprio l'11 novembre, alle ore 11, il Remembrance Day ricorda la fine delle ostilità sul fronte occidentale della Grande Guerra. Simbolo di questa giornata, un fiore di campo che in quei tragici anni di guerra ricoprì le campagne delle Fiandre e venne immortalato nella toccante poesia In Flanders Fields, scritta dall'ufficiale canadese John McCree, di stanza in Belgio e morto in servizio. I papaveri rossi che spuntano tra le croci, fila dopo fila, recita la poesia, rappresentano la continuità della vita e della speranza che dai campi di battaglia, bagnati dal fango, dal dolore, dal sacrificio, rinascono in un messaggio di libertà, pace e solidarietà. Giovani soldati che riposano anche su queste verdi e dolci colline di San Donato, che rappresentano un luogo di riflessione e preghiera, ma soprattutto da quel 16 aprile del 1944, giorno in cui ufficialmente veniva consacrato questo cimitero, è l'emblema più significativo di quel forte legame che unisce Ortona al Canada. Un memoriale per tutti i militari d'oltreoceano che hanno dato la loro vita per liberare il nostro paese dall'occupazione nazifascista e che qui ad Ortona hanno versato un grande tributo di sangue. Un legame che ogni anno rinnoviamo con questa celebrazione, ma non solo, perché proprio quest'anno la municipalità di Ortona ha inaugurato un luogo di incontro e socialità al centro della città, realizzando e intitolando una piazza proprio in onore di quegli eroi canadesi che 78 anni fa parteciparono alla campagna d'Italia. Il nostro compito, con parole e azioni, è quello di mantenere vivo il fuoco del ricordo, rispettando il valore del sacrificio patito da tanti militari e dalla popolazione civile, per vivere in un mondo libero, pacificato e colorato di 1000 papaveri rossi. Grazie.
I'll now call upon CCI student Ellie Peabody, who will recite a call to remembrance.
A call to remembrance. Today is a special day of remembrance when in our hearts we ponder the significance of so many of our fellow Canadians at war. Let us also remember our heritage and strong and free nation, and the peace which has been hard-won, passed down, and entrusted to us. May we never allow human hostility to rob us of so precious a gift. We remember above all the Almighty and the merciful God who delivers us from death and promises life eternal to whom we commit our fallen comrades.
Samantha Wright and Andrea Petiti will deliver readings in both English and Italian.
The There is no greater lesson learned than that passed on to us by generations of military men and women who carry with them the memory of war. They have endured the harshest conditions and witnessed the worst of humanity, but hold in their hearts the faces and names of comrades lost in battle who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. They have placed their memories in our trust and passed on the torch of remembrance for us to bear. Today is a stirring tribute to the lives that were lost in battle and the highest honor for those who remain.
Non esiste lezione più grande di quella che generazioni di uomini e donne che hanno prestato il servizio nell'esercito ci hanno trasmesso con la loro esperienza. Attraverso le più dure condizioni, costoro sono stati testimoni di mostruose atrocità, riuscendo però sempre a tenere vivo nel cuore il viso e il nome dei compagni che si sono sacrificati per la nostra libertà. In questo giorno della memoria noi poniamo il più alto tributo a quelle vite perse in battaglia e l'onore più insigne a coloro che restano.
Leah Guimet will read a passage or section from a poem by Paul Eluard.
Les 7 poèmes de l'amour en guerre. Au nom du front parfait profond, au nom des yeux que je regarde, de la bouche que j'embrasse, pour aujourd'hui et pour toujours. Au nom de l'amour enterré, au nom des larmes dans le nord, au nom des plaintes qui font rire, au nom des rires qui font peur. Au nom des rires dans la rue, de la douceur qui lie nos mains, au nom des fruits couvrant les fleurs, sur une terre belle et bonne. Au nom des hommes en prison, au nom des femmes déportées, au nom de tous nos camarades martyrisés et massacrés, pour n'avoir pas accepté l'ombre. Il nous faut faire drainer la colère et se faire lever le fer, pour préserver l'image haute des innocents partout traqués et qui partout vont triompher.
Rebecca Dobkin will come up here and read In Flanders Fields.
In Flanders fields the poppies grow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly. Scars heard amid the guns below, we are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high, if ye break faith with us who die. We shall not sleep through poppies grow in Flanders fields.
Abigail Bird will do a reading of In the Moro River Cemetery by a former faculty member named Brian Kelo.
In the Moro River Cemetery by Brian Kello. Now is a time for weeping among the young and the young dead, the white crosses and the red flowers and the grass, under the underground stains of all the silent boys. Now is a time for weeping among the young and the young dead, for the lives not lived, for the loves not loved, for suddenly old faces and long past lines around the eyes, of the mothers, the wives, and the fathers. Now is a time for weeping, in the places silent as the lost laughter of the boys, in the place as still as the brooding mountains that witnessed the guns, the cries, and the white crosses, and hears only the silence of the voiceless, the young, of the dead. Now is a time for weeping. Now is the time for weeping. I am among the weeping, the young, and the dead.
In recognition of the 12 indigenous fallen soldiers that are buried here in this cemetery, we call on Delay Galindo to recite their names.
Williard Zachariah, 28 years old, from Prince Edward County, Ontario. Mohawk. Hastings and Prince Edward Regiment. Died November 3rd, 1943. Joseph Okamassis, 19 years old, from Muskeg Lake, Saskatchewan. Cree, Saskatoon Light Infantry. Died December 7th, 1943. Lloyd Edwin Brandt, 24 years old, from Desronto, Ontario. Mohawk, Hastings and Prince Edward Regiment. Died December 14th, 1943. Peter Versailles, 32 years old, from Grand Prairie, Alberta. Métis, Loyal Edmonton Regiment. Died December 23rd, 1943. Gordon Yellowfly, 27 years old, from Blackfoot Reserve, Gleichen, Alberta. Seaforth Highlanders of Canada. Died December 27th, 1943. Albert Jardin, 24 years old, from Fraser Lake, British Columbia. Stellaco Band. Loyal Edmonton of Canada. Died December 30th, 1943. Alfred Joseph McLeod, 29 years old, from Cape Croc, Ontario. Ojibwa. Perth Regiment. Died January 17th, 1944. Kenneth Brandt, 23 years old, from Belleville, Ontario. Mohawk. Hastings and Prince Edward Regiment. Died January 31st, 1944. Sergeant Wilbur Chubb, 34 years old, from Rosenhath, Ontario. Alderville Band. Irish Regiment of Canada. Died February 2nd, 1944. Gordon Belrose, 23 years old, from Owen Sound, Ontario. Métis. Perth Regiment. Died February 5th, 1944. William Douglas Sinclair, 26 years old, from Old Depunity, Saskatchewan. Métis. Royal Canadian Dragoons Armored Car Regiment. Died April 11th, 1944. Francis Tommy, 20 years old, from Nanaimo Band, British Columbia. Royal Canadian Army Service Corps. Died March 22nd, 1944.
The Act of Remembrance and a Commitment to Remember, as read by the following CCI students: Elisa Bullen, Gaia Avalone, and then Dania Dussel.
An act of remembrance. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
Impegno a non dimenticare. Erano giovani, come siamo giovani noi. Hanno servito la patria, dando volontariamente se stessi. A noi promettiamo, nella scia del tempo, di tenere alta la loro fiaccola e di non dimenticare mai. Continueremo a ricordarli.
Promesse de se souvenir. Ils étaient jeunes, jeunes comme nous. Ils ont servi, donnant généreusement d'eux-mêmes. Nous leur promettons, en dépit du temps qui passe, de porter le flambeau et de ne jamais oublier. Nous nous souviendrons d'eux.
Maria Chiara Papale will now sing Amazing Grace.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas great I first believed. Through many dangers, 12 suns near, I have already come. These graces brought me safe this fair, and grace will lead me home. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that save a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see.
As head of school, I will now lead us in prayer. Heavenly Father, on this sad but proud day, we pause to remember our fallen comrades whose courage, sense of duty, and faith in their country led them to accept much personal danger, discomfort, and eventually death. Help us to believe that death is the gateway to what cannot be anything lesser life. Assure us that our fallen comrades are safe in your keeping. Teach us to live our lives gently with others, and to trust that we will never be far from us until the day when we all stand together before you. And may the peace of God, which is beyond our utmost understanding and of far more worth than human reasoning, keep guard over our hearts, our thoughts, and our actions. Amen. Silvio Di Paolo will now play the last post, which will be followed by 2 minutes of silence. This will be followed by the rouse and the playing of a recording of the lament. We would like to invite Angela Arnone to come to the microphone to deliver a tribute to Ted Griffin.
Today, a day of remembrance in this place of remembrance, please celebrate the life of Edmund Griffiths, who passed peacefully on Saturday, 30th of October last, aged 99. Jojo to his military family, and Ted to the rest of his friends, might have seemed like a gruff old soldier, an icon of a bygone time, but this facade concealed a man pure at heart, funny, generous, valiant, loyal, determined, an intellectual who dined with monarchs. Yet his biggest achievement was to have been a husband, father, grandfather, and great-grandfather, and a proud D-Day Dodger. His life was defined by his experiences in the Italian campaign as a young Three Rivers Tank Regiment gunner, who saw unspeakable things and grieved for his fallen comrades as much as for civilians and the enemy who fell. He remembered his Christmas in Ortona 1943, saying, "Bear in mind the business of the day was killing. The fact it was Christmas didn't enter my mind at that time, but when you survive a battle and you begin to think back on what transpired, this is when all the ghosts arrive. And it is the ghosts of Ortona that keep coming back to haunt." Ted brought to fruition an Ortona reconciliation dinner in 1998 on the site where the original 1943 Christmas dinner was held. At one table, old enemies and ghosts, Germans, Canadians, and Ortonesi. It was the beginning of a memory project that restored Ortona and the Italian campaign to their rightful place in Canadian military history, no longer overshadowed by Normandy. There followed the Price of Peace monument installed in the heart of Ortona in 1999 and now in pride of place in Canadian Heroes Square. Then the founding of the Battle of Ortona Museum, the placing of the Athena Sherman tank at Cider Crossroads, on the spot where so many of Ted's brothers-in-arms were killed in a few short hours. Ted would not have appreciated long drawn-out eulogy. He was, after all, a tank gunner trained to get straight to the point. In short, thank you, Ted, from all of us, the living and the ghosts whose memory you honoured so truly. Ad sum.
We will now proceed with the wreath-laying ceremony.
Maintenant, au dépôt de gerbe.
Procediamo ora alla posa delle corone.
I invite Lieutenant General Paul to lay a wreath on behalf of the Armed Forces of Canada.
Can you do it?
Invito ora il sindaco Leo Castiglione a deporre la corona a nome della città di Ortona.
I invite Sandra Seagram and her daughter, Eugenia Anovatsi Seagram, to lay a wreath on behalf of the 48th Highlanders. I invite CCI students Chloe McIntosh Rubro and Gael Galindo and the Vice Mayor of Lanciano, Tanya Paolucci, to lay a wreath on behalf of the Canadian College Italy and the youth of Canada. And Sindaco Filippo Paolucci, sorry. Students from the Polo, Ciao, and Saffo of Rosetto degli Abruzzi to lay a wreath on behalf of their school. At this time, we'd like to invite anyone else who would like to lay a wreath to do so. I welcome back Maria Chiara Papale to the microphone to sing Imagine by John Lennon.
Imagine Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for to die. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You must say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or anger. A brotherhood of men. Nothing all the people sharing God the world. You must say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Mesdames et messieurs, merci tous ceux qui ont participé.
Ladies and gentlemen, after the singing of God Save the Queen, we will conclude our ceremony. Thank you all for your participation in honor of our fallen soldiers.
Signori e signori, l'inno God Save the Queen che segue concluderà la nostra cerimonia.
God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God save the Queen. Send her victorious, happy and glorious, long journey over us. God save the Queen.
March of the Colors.
Flag party will depart in single file.